the judges are preparing to deliver a key ruling that could redefine the William Ruto case. The judges will on Friday decide on whether or not to use recanted evidence in the case against Deputy President Ruto and radio journalist Joshua Arap Sang. Ruto has opposed the use of that material, and as KTN's Linda Ogutu now tells us, that ruling will be widely watched in Africa and around the world.
The Friday ruling will perhaps be one of the most definitive moments in the Deputy President's bid to shake off the ICC ghosts that have followed him for more than 5 years. Only last week, President Uhuru Kenyatta led fellow African leaders in issuing a new threat to walk out of the Hague-based court if the case against Ruto was not terminated.
I therefore urge you to adopt the resolutions of the Ministerial Committee on ICC and include a new mandate to develop a roadmap for withdrawal from the Rome Statute as necessary. We must reaffirm that the global standard for impunity for heads of state should also apply to Africa and insist on the termination of the collapse cases against the Deputy President of Kenya.
Many violations of human rights, blatant ones. Blatant violations are perpetrated elsewhere, but nobody speaks about it. And therefore, there are double standards here.
Trial Chamber 5, which is hearing the case against Ruto and radio journalist Joshua Arap Sang, allowed the court's chief prosecutor Fatou Bensouda to use primary testimony of 5 witnesses who had recanted their evidence. The African Union was allowed to join defense teams of Deputy President William Ruto and journalist Joshua Arap Sang in an appeal seeking to overturn that decision. The AU, in its application, asked the judges to allow it to clarify on the applicability of the amended rule and its possibility to be unfavorable to the person being investigated, prosecuted, or convicted. It also wanted to submit views on the use of the now controversial Rule 68 retroactively. Both the AU and the defense teams argue that Rule 68 was adopted on condition that it would not be applied backwards.
Tell them that we are not ghosts, that we also belong to the world, and Africans shall no longer tolerate a position of slavery.
The prosecution and the victim's legal representative, Wilfred Ruto, on the other hand, want the appeals chamber to uphold the trial chamber's decision. Chief Prosecutor Fatou Bensouda explained to the judges that her witnesses were interfered with and forced to recant their evidence, therefore necessitating the use of recanted evidence in the quest for justice. Should the chamber dismiss application of Rule 68, which allows admission of prior recorded statements, the prosecution has expressed concerns that it will suffer a big blow in its efforts to tighten charges against Ruto and Sang. Ruto and Sang were last month in The Hague for hearing of oral submissions of their motions of no case to answer, which seek to terminate the case. On Friday, the 5-year case could take a whole new turn as the appeal judges make known their findings. Linda Ogutu, KTN News.